This is Nimasa This Week, the official mouthpiece of the Nigerian maritime sector. Hello and welcome. My name is Iresiola Doyle. In light of some very disturbing allegations that has dragged the nation's apex maritime regulatory body into the current political fray, the DG of Nimasa, Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulukemi, stated that the allegations being made by the All Progressive Congress, saying that the agency was the automated teller machine of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, is not only untrue but baseless. Our correspondent Amanda Akpan has the details.
In recent times, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa has been under a barrage of media attacks sponsored by some misguided elements with the sole intent of distracting and disrupting the numerous achievements recorded by Nimasa under the leadership of Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulukemi. Last week, the campaign of calumny took a new twist, with Nimasa being dragged into the muddled waters of partisan politics. The old media was saturated with the spurious allegations made by the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Organization, accusing the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa as the automated teller machine of Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Presidential Campaign Organization and the institution responsible for the AIDS campaign televised against its presidential candidate, General Muhammad Buhari, retired. In the light of the serious and damaging accusations, Nimasa organized a press conference to address the issue and intimates the general public with the true position of things. Nimasa boss Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulukemi, alongside top management staff of the agency, were present at this all-important media parley. Addressing pressmen, Dr. Akpobulukemi described the statement by the All Progressive Congress as false and malicious, reminding the All Progressive Congress that the agency is not a political party, but a responsible agency of government trying its best to fulfill the mandates for which it was set up.
The vicious campaign is intended to cast aspersions on the activities and the integrity of Nimasa as a responsible corporate entity of government. The attempts consist of a trail of mischievous representations and blatant lies orchestrated by the All Progressive Congress to discredit the giant and monumental strides President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has achieved through Nimasa and other agencies in the maritime sector. In the process, important issues of state have been trivialized on the altar of political grandstanding at the expense of the unity of our dear country, Nigeria. Politicians should do the politicking and allow Nimasa to do the primary jobs that we have been assigned to do through the Enabling Act of Nimasa and other relevant laws.
Prominent amongst the falsehood perpetrated by the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Organization is the allegation that Nimasa contracted the country's maritime security to a private firm they claim to be owned by Mr. Government Ekpemo Polo, referred to as Tom Polo. Again, the Director General speaks.
Nimasa, through the approval of the Federal Executive Council, is running a concessioning arrangement, partnership arrangement with a private company. And I have told people, first of all, this company does not even belong to the Tom Polo that has been mentioned often. Number two, this company's job is to provide patrol boats for us to do our jobs. Our jobs cut across environment, safety, security, etc. And Nigerian security officials are on board these vessels with their weapons, protecting us and carrying out our function. So, these issues keep coming, because people are playing politics with things that concerns the well-being of Nigerians.
The Nimasa helmsman also debunked the allegation that the agency is jeopardizing the education of the cadets studying abroad under the National Seafarers Development Program (NSDP) by not paying their school fees promptly.
We are not having any problems with payment of fees to our students. It was Nimasa that decided to embark on this project, and Nimasa is consistently meeting its obligation. So that's mere campaign that Nimasa is not paying the fees, and to that extent, the students have been ejected, they are not taking part in classes or whatever, is completely untrue, and it is part of the falsehood.
It is worthy of note that the agency's success story, which is globally celebrated today, was born out of the hard work, visionary leadership, and team spirit established by Dr. Corporateman. The Director General of Nimasa rounded up the press conference by reiterating the commitment of the agency to the actualization of a robust maritime safety administration to generation yet unborn.
It is on record that Nimasa has in the preceding years demonstrated an uncommon sense of purpose, which has resulted in the evolution of a bold maritime administration and a responsive and visionary agency committed to growing the potentials of the sector through the creation of capacity, jobs, and various opportunities, ultimately designed to propel Nigeria to that enviable status of a maritime nation.
Speaking in the same vein, some key management staff of the agency spoke to Nimasa this week on the orchestrated campaign against Nimasa.
If Nimasa as an agency is funding anything, I mean, it's common sense that such thing as long as it involves money, has a process that it will pass. So how can Nimasa be funding hate campaigns without the executive management and the management, approving release of funds? So if you have additional facts to buttress that is not generalized, come up with it. Otherwise, you will be destroying institutions. And we can't be seen to be a progressive nation if we begin to destroy institutions. Nimasa definitely will outlive every one of us, so we don't have to bring it down.
The main aim of the press conference is to let the Nigerian citizens know that Nimasa is not involved in the so-called hate press review or whatever about the presidential candidate of APC. Because for us to do that, we must have a collective agreement, because you're going to spend a lot of money when you get to press, and you don't spend government money without going through the due process. And there's no time, I can confirm, that either the executive management or top management have sat to discuss, this is what we are going to do about PDP or APC. Never. I've never been there, and I'm sure nobody, my colleague has spoken to you, nobody, it never happened.
The achievements on ground, and also the Director General did express himself clearly that we are not to be dragged into politics. In all the last 4 years, there is nothing that has been political with Nimasa. The only thing that we've concentrated on is the technical bit. And I'm very, very happy that the Director General came out clear that we shall focus, and I repeat, focus, on keeping Nigeria's waters safe, whether for APC investors, PDP investors, Labour Party investors. The waters are open for business, and that is what we are after.
Marine notice, coastal navigation warning. Pursuant to the agency's statutory mandate over the safety of navigation and safe operations of all offshore facilities within the Nigerian territorial waters, notice is hereby given as follows. that 2 vessels shall be deployed for two-phase 4D seismic acquisition on Akpo Field OML 130 from January 2015 to the end of April 2015. That during phase 1 of the operation, the MV Ramform Vanguard will tow a spread of 4 streamers of 2,700 meter long with 100 meter separation between the streamers, while the source vessel, the MV Ramform Challenger, will tow 2 seismic sources, air guns for collection of seismic data. That phase 2 of the operations will involve 1 seismic vessel, BGP Prospector, with spread of 8 streamers of 5,200 meter long and 100 meter separation between the streamers, and also tow 2 seismic sources. That 1 or 2 other auxiliary vessels will be involved in the operations as support vessels for emergency towing supplies and spares, and to prevent other vessels from getting close to the seismic vessels. That all vessels in the Akpo oil field are to keep well clear of the area within the following coordinates for the periods beginning of January 2015 and ending April 2015. That no anchoring is allowed within the area for the period stated until further notice. Affected BA Chat 1386 Pennington River to Opobo River. For further enquiries, please contact the Director Maritime Safety and Seafarer Standards Department, 2nd floor, Administration Block, Nigerian Maritime Resource Development Center, Kirikiri, Lagos. Email rmrcc@nimasa.gov.ng, msssd@nimasa.gov.ng. Telephone numbers 070 007 00010, 070 007 00020, 070 007 00030. Signed, Management.
In a separate development, the Search and Rescue Division of Nimasa in Warri Delta State rescued a crew member aboard a distressed ship, MT St. John, near the Bini River. The rescued crew member was given first aid and then was handed over to medical personnel. Meanwhile, investigation is ongoing by Nimasa to determine the cause of the accident and the security measures put in place by the operators of MT St. John. Our correspondent, Rachel Ubani, has the details.
The Emergency Services Division is one of the 3 divisions in the Maritime Safety and Seafarer Standard Department, Nimasa, entrusted with the responsibility of rendering search and rescue services to vessels and mariners in distress within Nigerian territorial waters. This responsibility is also extended beyond Nigeria by virtue of Nigeria's designation as the head of the West and Central African Search and Rescue region. Nigeria, being a major maritime nation in sub-Saharan Africa, is signatory to the Safety of Life at Sea SOLAS 1974 and the 1979 Search and Rescue SAR Conventions. In addition, Nigeria has a long coastline with fast-growing offshore maritime industry, thus increasing her potentials for the use of the sea. Nimasa, alive to its responsibilities, launched the Satellite Surveillance Center, which has enabled the agency to respond to many distress calls on Nigerian waters and beyond. The efficacy of the Satellite Center was demonstrated recently in Warri Delta State. Based on information that reached the Zonal Coordinator from Lagos, the Nimasa team, in conjunction with other partners, launched a search and rescue operation on a vessel in distress, MV St. John, near Bene River, which resulted in the rescue of a crew member.
We got a message around 8:30 yesterday morning, Sunday, from the coordinator telling us that a vessel, there is an emergency, we should just proceed to the sea. Hearing that message, we immediately swing into action. Just a few minutes later, we left the house and then we went to the sea in search of this so-called vessel. In the process, we got to the coordinates, which is the position that was given to us. We got there and we didn't see the vessel in question. So we called the vessel we saw. We saw a big tanker vessel. Then we called the tanker vessel to ask them of that there's a coordinate sent to us, and the tanker vessel there fit into the coordinate that was sent to us. That we are looking for a vessel if they have any information concerning the MV St. John. Rescue somebody and then they dropped the anchor and then we went on board. A very big tanker, we went on board and then we saw this Mr. Melody Williams. He was on board the vessel.
The survivor, Mr. William Melody, was among 8 of the crew on board MV St. John, which was loaded with cargo from Port Harcourt en route Lagos. The whereabouts of the other crew members is still unknown.
Sorry, Melody, how did you survive the accident? That's what we want to know. How did you, before you were seen, before you were rescued, how were you able to survive? Because you just explained that the bottom of the vessel busted. So as a result, what happened?
So when the bottom got gushed out from somewhere, because the gravitational force of the water coming out from the bottom more than the cargo pump was supposed to rescue the boat. Yes. There is no way. We try and make sure we use the cargo pump and we use manual. Also call camera pump. We try to rescue the boat, but we couldn't. Because the thing, more than 5 minutes. The boat cover side.
So
sun upside down.
Sun
upside down. Everybody finding level.
The Nimasa officials promptly gave proper medical care to the rescued man and handed him over to the Safety Department Lagos. They further give insight into the incident.
He told us that they loaded on land. And when you loaded on land, without loading at the designated port, or port accepted by MPA and Nimasa, automatically it's an illegal port where they loaded. And the guy made us to know. And I have a belief that they are the people doing cook AGO. They are the people cooking AGO. So, and what happened to the vessel from the information we received is stability problem. Loss of stability, free surface effect, and there is this thing called a vanishing stability, and the vessel cannot right herself anymore. So it leads to what they call angle of load, so which is a negative GZ. So automatically, any vessel that experiences a negative GZ will surely capsize in such way.
Immediately I got the information, I contacted the other coordinator to see whether he had gotten similar information. Fair enough, he said I received it. That Captain Waredi has called him, and I've sent people from Esclavos, the global ways there, to go and attend the situation. Then I told him, okay, but I was standing by. I'm informing the doctor to stand by at their office, waiting to get the feedback, whatever is the information they got.
Although there are reports that 3 of the crew members have been rescued, meanwhile, investigation is ongoing to ascertain the fate of the other crew members.
Still on the press briefing organized by Nimasa in response to the spurious allegations by the All Progressive Congress, the DG, Dr. Zakide Patrick Apoblokemi, seized the opportunity to highlight some of the many successes of the agency in its quest to engender accelerated growth within the maritime sector. Our correspondent, Rachel Ubani, has the details.
The transformations witnessed in the Nigerian maritime sector within the past 4 years, which has earned it local and international commendation from industry players, has largely been attributed to the goodwill and support of the federal government of Nigeria under Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa, under the leadership of Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akwabola-Kemi, has strategically grown the Nigerian maritime sector through its human and infrastructural capacity initiatives, guided by its 4-point agenda, which is a blueprint conceived and founded on objective assessment to fast-track development of the maritime sector by tackling gaps in the sector. The Nimasa team set into motion, resulting in the achievement of major milestones in the Nigerian maritime sector. In the wake of recent attempts made by the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Organization to impugn the integrity of Nimasa and its management, the agency organized a press conference recently in Lagos to address the issue and, more importantly, to highlight the achievements of the agency, which has greatly improved the Nigerian maritime space. Addressing newsmen, the DG Nimasa, Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akwabola-Kemi, emphasized the remarkable strides attained in the area of safety and security through its public-private partnership arrangements with relevant security agencies.
The agency entered into partnership with a competent Nigerian maritime company, Global West Vessel Specialists Limited, to provide platforms to patrol the coastline. The PPP project has also made it possible for the agency to provide suitable platforms to the relevant security agencies, collaborated with us to fight piracy and other sundry security breaches in our waters.
Dwelling on its capacity development initiative, Dr. Ziakede Patrick Akwabola-Kemi enumerated in detail the gains of the NSDP program.
I am glad to inform you that under the NSDP program, over 2,500 young Nigerians have benefited or are currently enjoying various levels of scholarship in reputable institutions in the United Kingdom, Egypt, Romania, India, and Philippines. The students are studying to become marine engineers, naval architects, and nautical scientists. This has gone on successfully, devoid of any discrimination. We have no doubt that in the next 5 years, Nigeria would have produced a sizable number of qualified seafarers, satisfying local demands and also earning scarce foreign exchange from working on board foreign ships.
Touching on port safety, security, and ISPS code implementation, Dr. Akwabola-Kemi highlighted the success recorded in the ISPS code compliance level and the benefits to the maritime sector.
Since the federal government under President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan appointed the agency as the designated authority for the implementation of the ISPS code, compliance rose from 7% to 83% within 2 years. This success story in the ISPS code compliance has ensured a better environment for port operations and eliminated the era of port rats, hawking, and touting within the vicinity of our ports. Unlike in the past, one can now import and be sure that the goods arrive intact without the usual dreadful experience.
He also pointed out the huge impact the launch of the Satellite Surveillance Center has had in combating insecurity on Nigeria's waters and beyond.
The Nimasa Satellite Surveillance Center has also assisted in our quest to combat all illicit activities in the maritime domain and beyond. The agency is now able to respond to any distress call on Nigerian waters and even beyond. The new 24-hour satellite surveillance equipment has the capability to detect boats, ships, and objects of predefined cross-section floating on water, and has also helped to reduce incidents of piracy and oil theft to the barest minimum.
Unwavering in his commitment, Dr. Akwabola-Kemi reaffirms his resolve to consolidate on the achievements.
No amount of smear campaign by the APC or any other body, for that matter, will divert us from our committed cause and vision of bequeathing a robust maritime safety administration to generations unborn.
There is no gainsaying the fact that the Ziakede Patrick Akwabolakemi leadership has repositioned Nimasa to effectively contribute to growing the Nigerian economy, which today is seen as the largest economy on the African continent.
Nimasa, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. For Obonga shipping registration, no. Nimasa, commercial shipping, no. Nimasa, maritime labor,
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, the nation's maritime watchdog, established to promote maritime safety, security, commercial shipping, and regulate maritime pollution. Nimasa is well positioned and committed to take the development and standardization of Nigeria's maritime industry to greater heights. Are you interested in the local or international commercial shipping business or in seafaring and do not know what to do or how to go about it? Nimasa will guide and see you through. Sea pirates, oil thieves, and all forms of dubious and illegal business on Nigeria's maritime domain have no hiding place because Nimasa's eagle eyes will locate or catch up with you. For Nimasa, it is zero tolerance to sea pollution as all abandoned ships and wrecks on Nigeria's waterways which pose danger to sea transportation will be cleared. Nimasa, promoting safe and secure maritime environment.
And so we come to the end of this week's edition of our show. Now, please don't forget, Nimasa this week is interactive. We are more than willing to respond to your questions, comments, and sometimes, yes, even your criticisms. All you need to do is send an email to the address currently showing on your screen. Now, we've said it every single week on this show since the beginning of the year. Especially during this period, let safety and security be our watchword, not just on our motorways and airways, but also on our waterways. Once again, it's Iretiola Adua signing off until next week. Goodbye.